Transport. Transporting your cigar is important because a lot of times, especially during the winter, you're not going to want to smoke outside. There are a lot of places you can't smoke anymore all around the world, and there are places that you can smoke, designated places, and sometimes you'd want to bring the cigar with you. Depending on where you're going and how many cigars you need, that's what helps you decide on what kind of transport you need. There are tubes like this, which protect a single cigar. This is a cool one because it screws in therefore and locks, therefore letting you store any size cigar from a double Corona all the way down to a little itty bitty Corona or a petite Corona or Robusto or whatever. So I love this little thing. This is the one I use personally when I'm going to the cigar shop. Actually, this was mailed to me from a viewer who sent me a Bolivar Royal Corona a long time ago to be analyzed. I kept this little thing. I asked him, I said, do you want your cigar tube back? And he said, no. I think it's right there in the comment section. But I kept it, and just, if you're watching, I still use the thing. I love it. They don't sell it around where I'm at. I'm sure I could get it online, but now I already have one. Second type of cigar transport items, cases. Cases can carry anywhere from, again, they make for 1 to 5 cigars. They even have, you know, they have wide cases for like 5 Robustos. The most common cases you'll see are ones like this or ones that are a little shorter. The shorter ones will carry from, the smallest cigar to a Robusto size. This will carry anywhere from a Toro to a Churchill. You want to get the case that matches the type of cigar, that nearest matches the type of cigar you smoke, because you don't want the cigar bouncing around too much in the case. This type of case is made for a Churchill. It's a 42 ring gauge here, so you can, if the cigar is a little, I think it's actually a 48 ring gauge, so you'll allow for a few different sizes of, but it will hold a 7-inch cigar. It's meant to be closed all the way. Okay? People say, well, I can put a longer cigar in there because I can go like this. True, but if somehow it gets in your luggage or whatever you're carrying and something pushes down on it, your cigar is done. So you do want to try to get a case that matches the size of the cigar you're smoking. Same principle, 3 tubes. So these are great if you're going on a golf outing. You need 3 cigars, whatever, you put them in there. Again, they make cases like this for 20 bucks. They make cases like this for 200 bucks and more. So you'll have a lot of fun shopping for all the items we've just talked about because there are so many options available. I hope this video allows you to make a few decisions before you go out, and maybe you can decide, well, that's the kind of cutter I want. That's the way I want to light my cigar. I don't need to carry 10 cigars, but I do need to carry at least 2 or 3. So you can look at all these different items and get an idea of what you're going to need. If you're going on a long vacation, say, well, this wouldn't be too long for me. This would be a good 2 days, 3 days, if I can smoke the way I want. A lot of times I end up in a place where have to go outside to smoke and the weather sucks, so it's all relative. But this is a armored carry case. We used to joke that, first of all, this thing is waterproof, okay? It's airtight. Once it's closed, it's got a rubber seal. You can drop this thing off. It's great like if you're going fishing because you could drop this off the side of the boat. Not only will it float, but all the cigars will stay dry. We've tried it. It's an awesome, awesome product. And this one holds safely, easily, up to 10 cigars. These are small ones, little LG Orientals. But if your cigars are smaller, like these, I could actually take this insert out and fit a good 15, probably even 20 of these in here. The inserts are all removable, so whatever. Underneath I have another 5 cigars. What do I have in here? There's 5 Tatuaje Triumphadors. And then, so you put, ooh, that smells good. I keep a little piece of rolled up cedar in there. This actually came from the LG Oriental box. And what it does for me, you would be surprised at how much this smells right now. It gives the case a really nice odor of cedar. What I like to do, these things always come with a little water jamming. You can put a little distilled water in there to help keep the cigars humid. If you're only going for 2-3 days, you probably don't need any humidity. You can just stick your cigars in there, especially if they're in cellophane. And even if they're not, they'll keep each other humid. This thing, remember, it's airtight. If you're going long term, you can stick Boveda packs in here. What I did was I put a 72 pack, I'm sorry, a 69 pack, because this is airtight. I put a 69 pack under everything. It's not in there anymore. And then close everything up. And what that does is I don't have to worry. Whether this thing is full or empty, I leave it in there. Because this thing is airtight, the thing goddamn lasted a year. Seriously, the thing lasted a year in there. And, you know, that way I don't have to worry about filling or changing packs or whatever. Just buy one $4 large 69 pack, shove it in the bottom, and then put all your cigars in there, and you'll never have to worry about humidification. But this is our third type of transport and is great for longer term events. Of course, they make one smaller, that's 5 cigars. They make one that carries up to 30 cigars, like a briefcase style thing. I think that's nuts, but to each his own. And finally, when it comes to, oh, here's a fancy type cigar holder case. This is a Tatuaje special. This was a gift actually from Pete Johnson. I was honored to receive this when I was working at the cigar shop. Same principle as these kind right here, except it has removable inserts. So you can, this is for really high-end cigars that, you know, you can keep them from knocking around. You keep them separate. You can say one cigar is smaller, the other one's bigger. You can move the insert over and keep the cigar from A, touching each other, B, bouncing around and possibly getting damaged. And it's just a real nice, stylish case. The thing comes like this. Actually, it goes in there, and then it actually comes with a little like display. This was a birthday gift. Very it actually is number 12 of 100. They made 100 of these things right in the inside of the top. You can see that. So yeah, I just had to boast about that because I love the thing. But it gives you a good idea again of another type of fancier transport method. So going over our transport methods, we had the single cigar, the double, triple case type transport for cigars. You have your longer term vacation, boating, outing style, 10 cigar armored carrying case type transport, and of course your fancy pretentious transport that I love. So that's that. Finally, so we went over a quick review before we get into how to smoke a cigar. Cutting, cutters, lighters, transport, and the fourth and final one, which we're not going to go into too much right now because it's a whole nother episode, is storing. When I'm talking about storing, of course, I'm talking about humidors. And like everything else I showed you, there are 1,000,001 ways, choices when it comes to humidors. For everything from your 10, literally 10, 20 count small desktop humidor to a 50, 100, 150 count larger desktop coffee table humidor to your 400 count corner end table humidors, your 1200 count automatic electronic refrigerator wine cooler style humidors, and then guys who take an entire closet or room and dedicate it to cigars and build in a walk-in humidor. Awesome stuff. Well, something I would definitely want to do, long-term goal for me anyway, sometime in the future. So that's about it. I'm not going to talk too much about this because we're going to do an episode on seasoning. A lot of people want to watch me step by step season a humidor and then talk a little bit about questions to ask yourself when going out to purchase a humidor. But for now, we are moving on and getting into watch the second part of this episode, how to smoke a cigar, where we will show you the proper way to cut, light, smoke, and finally ash extinguish a cigar, and then go on with a few little tips on etiquette and do's and don'ts and all that stuff. So thanks for watching. I hope everybody saw a little something here that made them go, oh yeah, I could use that, I could do that. Remember, if you've been smoking cigars for years, this episode's not for you, of course. But if you're a brand new smoker and you just came into the realm, welcome. We love you, we need you. We're a brotherhood, and just welcome, you know, from one cigar smoker to another. don't be shy. Don't hesitate. You don't know. Of course you don't know. You've never done it before. You know, don't be timid. Tell somebody. Look, when I used to work at the shop, there was nothing more there's nothing I appreciated more than a guy telling me, hey, it's my first time doing this. I really don't know what I'm doing. Then somebody who, you know, cuts the cigar in half and cuts it while it's in the cellophane and sniffing cigars. But ask, and ye shall be granted help. That's about it. Let's move on to smoking a cigar.